Welcome everyone to Journey of the Seven Directions. It's so exciting for me to be here because the idea for creating this workshop dropped in a few months ago when I was creating my own seven direction invocation, going through my own version of it, and I've created a few throughout the years. And I just thought it would be so cool to walk people through this process. And I was coming up with what that would look like. I'll go through our process here in a little bit, but I just wanted to say I'm so grateful that you're here and that you're taking the time to create this because it's something that really supports with setting your space. It supports anytime you want to do healing for yourself or hold space for someone else. It just really helps you get grounded. If anyone is familiar with the four direction invocation, usually calling in the four directions and elements or animal spirits, this is similar to that. We're just expanding it to include a few more directions. And this is just the version that has felt really beautiful for me to use and work with. And so I'm excited to share with you all today. So, because there's a few new faces here that are going to be tuning in and that are live, I want to take a moment to introduce myself. So, my name is Eva, and I have gone through so many titles. But right now, I'm resonating with a visionary healer, which to me means that I'm taking healing and doing something new with it. I'm very big on empowering people to be their own healer. So I don't really view my role as the healer, but more of a guide to support people to remember and to step into that leadership role for themselves. And I love also doing a lot of soul work, so a lot of intuitive life and business guidance as well. Love working with entrepreneurs and also mothers. I do spirit baby sessions as well. So my journey with my spiritual awakening started when I basically walked away from becoming a CPA, a certified public accountant. I got my bachelor's, master's in accounting and was studying to be a CPA. And then I had a really beautiful, deep moment of presence when I heard my soul speak to me and ask me, is this the path that you want for yourself? And I immediately started crying because I knew that I wasn't following my heart and I wasn't following what I was inspired by, but I was trying to please and get the approval of my dad. So I walked away from that whole career path, and I've still done accounting work throughout the years and still needed that financial support. However, entrepreneurship and especially soulpreneurship, really connecting to your intuition and being guided and led by your heart is something that's really near and dear to me. So, in the last 4 years, I've been walking alongside others and guiding and supporting their healing and their empowerment journeys. And that's really special to me to hold space for someone to journey inward with them, to be welcomed into their inner world and really help them with anything that they're feeling is blocking, or they just can't get the clarity, or they just don't understand where things are coming from. I really love asking questions. I ask a lot of insightful questions to really help us get to the root and really help the person receive that clarity. And I'm a big believer in medicine of the moment. I trust that I'm guided by spirit. We're both guided by spirit in the moment, and everyone receives what they're meant to, even if it doesn't look the way their mind thought it would, or my mind thought it would. And now I'm in this season of really walking in community and building community. And I'll have an invitation at the end for the space that I've just relaunched. So that's a little bit about my journey. just so you know who is guiding you. All right. So we're going to be journeying together, and I just wanted to put a few reminders here that spirit is very playful and creative. If you look at little babies, little kids, and animals too, animals and nature, always beautiful teachers for us. You see that playfulness, that curiosity, and that natural creativity. We all have that within us. So I just wanted to remind us that it doesn't have to be serious, and we get to make this fun and enjoyable for ourselves. So I'll be guiding a meditation where we'll be traveling to each of the 7 directions. And I just want to encourage you to really trust what comes forward for you. I'm purposefully not sharing my own invocation with you yet. I'm happy to share it afterward, but I didn't want mine to influence people's experience in any way. So I just wanted to really invite us to step forward with open hearts and also know that whatever you begin creating today, it might not be your final draft. So we're beginning the process, but maybe there is some refinement that you work on after this time together. So just wanting to invite that openness and knowing that you get to have that say. You are the creator of that, of your invocation. So you get to say when it feels complete. The invocation that I currently use, I love it so much, and it feels so different from previous ones because I really took the time to refine and listen to it and really understand what was resonating, what wasn't. And I'll have some tips on that a little bit later. So, the invitation is really to just create something special for yourself, a ritual to support you in your own inner work or when working with others. So, also in the meditation that I'll be guiding, we're going to begin in the east. So, if you are not sure what direction is where, that is totally okay. Just ask your awareness to follow along and just use your imagination, that sense that we don't talk about enough as adults, to guide you and to trust that you're tuning into the correct direction for you. And if you are someone who is able to be in a meditative state and then slightly open your eyes and jot down what came through, and you want to do that with this meditation, feel free to do that. If you feel like you'll remember the essence and what came through, then you don't need to journal, but I'll give people a moment to grab some paper or a journal if you need. All right. So now I'm going to play the meditation and we will journey together. And just keep your heart open and just follow along, see what comes up, jot down notes if you want along the way. Welcome to the journey of the 7 directions, where we will journey together to each direction to see who comes forward for you, so that you can have a special way, a ritual to open up your sacred space on your journey. Begin by getting settled into your body, closing your eyes and taking a deep breath in through the nose and releasing slowly out through the mouth. Feeling your body begin to soften. With each breath, allow yourself to arrive here more fully. Imagine yourself standing at the center of a great circle, the center of all directions. Around you stretches infinite possibility. And here in the center, you are safe, supported, and free to explore. Take a moment to feel your heart opening and silently set your intention to welcome the guidance, the allies, the symbols, the wisdom that wishes to meet you today. And so our journey begins, turning your awareness toward the east. What do you notice first? Is there light on the horizon? Soft colors of dawn? Or is there something entirely unique in your vision? What does the air feel like on your skin in the east? Is it cool, crisp, gentle, alive? Is there a sound that you hear in this direction? Perhaps the rustling of leaves, an animal, a bird? Or is there silence? What emotions arise in you as you face the east? What feels alive? Is there someone here present with you to greet you? Maybe an animal, a teacher, a symbol, or maybe just a sensation. Trust what comes. What message does the East hold for you about beginnings, clarity, or inspiration? Now gently turning toward the south, what do you see or sense in the south? Is there sunlight? Perhaps warmth? Fire? Lushness? Movement? What do you feel in your body as you face the south? Maybe there is a warmth in your chest, a stirring in your belly, a call to move or expand. Is there a presence waiting for you here? What form do they come in? A guide, an animal, maybe even a loved one, or maybe just an energy. How is this representative of the South making themselves known to you? Are you seeing them, hearing them, feeling them? And what do they want you to feel what does the south represent for you and them? What emotions arise as you stand here? Maybe joy or courage, vulnerability, tenderness. Is there a gift, a symbol, or a message that the South wants to offer you? Just be here and receive. Now, gently turning toward the west. As you turn toward the west, notice what it looks like in your vision. Is there twilight? Maybe a setting sun? Maybe shadows? Or something else entirely? What does the air feel like here in the west? Is it heavy, cool, mysterious, expansive? What feelings arise in your body as you face this direction? Is there a sense of letting go, of mystery, of quiet change? Who or what meets you here in the West? Can you sense a guide, a spirit, an animal, or a symbol? Who represents the West for you? What does the energy feel like? Is it steady or maybe fierce, compassionate or quiet? Is there something you may be asked to release or transform? What wisdom does the West hold for you about endings that become beginnings? And now, gently turning your awareness to the north. What does the landscape of the north look like? Is there snow? Maybe mountains? Perhaps a starry sky? Or something completely surprising? Let your imagination guide you. What sounds or silence do you notice here in the north? What does your body feel as you stand in the presence of the north? Is there stillness, strength, spaciousness, clarity? Does someone greet you here? Maybe an ancestor, a teacher, an animal, or some kind of energy or wisdom. What teachings, protection, or guidance does this guide or ally bring forth for you? What does the North remind you about devotion, integrity, or listening deeply? And now invite you to lift your awareness upward to the realm above. What do you see as you gaze upward toward the sky, stars, infinite light, or perhaps something vast and beyond words? How does the direction of the above feel in your body? Do you feel expansive, maybe weightless, or perhaps connected and embraced? Is there an energy or a presence that descends to meet you from this space? Maybe it's a being. Maybe it's just light or an energy of love. What blessing or perspective is being offered to you from the above? What reminder of your connection to spirit is present here? What feels true about your connection to the divine? And now we're going to drop our awareness down, 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 bringing it downward into the below. What do you sense beneath your feet? Does it feel like roots, soil, water, crystal? Or maybe you feel the heartbeat of Mama Gaia, Pachamama, Mother Earth. What does it feel like to connect here? Does it feel grounded? Do you feel held or maybe nourished? Can you feel a sense of support? And as you feel into the below, what wants to represent this direction for you? Maybe an elemental, a stone being, or maybe the spirit of Mother Earth herself. Allow whatever comes forward to be your representative of this direction. And notice what they offer you. Is it a sense of stability, strength, nurturing, or maybe release? What wisdom does the earth whisper to you as you root into her depths? And now, bringing your awareness to your own heart. And if it feels good, you can place your hand or both hands on your chest. What do you notice here? What's alive in your heart space? The seventh direction. Is there warmth? Light, a color, maybe a sound. Or maybe just the energy of presence, the sensation of this moment here now. How does it feel to simply be with your heart, be with your own sacred center? Is there someone or something that appears for you here? Maybe it is your higher self, or a spirit guide, a symbol, or the essence of your being. What does this ally, this representative, offer you in this moment? Is it a sense of love, joy, clarity? Maybe a reminder of who you truly are? What does your heart want you to know right now? Listen. And now, taking a slow, deep breath, Beginning to feel yourself here once again in the center of all the directions, surrounded by the wisdom of all 7 directions. You can begin to offer your thanks and gratitude for all the beings, the symbols, the energies that showed themselves to you, to the directions for their medicine. And beginning to gently return back to your body. If it feels good, wiggling your fingers and toes, taking a final deep breath in here. And when you are ready, softly in your own time, open your eyes, carrying the wisdom that you received from each direction with you. So now that we have journeyed to each of the directions, we are going to take some time for you to craft your own prayer. And I just wanted to share some tips and things to consider. So I started in the direction of the East. Different Indigenous traditions may start in other directions. The very first time that I experienced this invocation and received it in a community, she had started in the East, and so that's how I've always done my invocations. But I really want to encourage you to feel into what direction feels best for you. And also, another question to consider and infuse into this process is what actually supports you to feel grounded and centered and connected to spirit and present. Because if you have certain things, maybe it's the way that you breathe, maybe it's envisioning roots going down into the earth or a light shining down upon you, you can infuse that into your invocation and that you can really connect with it when you work with it. And then this is the beginning of your invocation. So maybe you start this process and it takes a few months to refine and get to that final invocation that you feel like is it. I will say that I feel like it's one thing when we write it down, but then when we're actually saying the prayer, and that way you can really hear it and feel it, and that can help you in your process of refining. And also, something that just came through, you can create multiple. I followed along with the meditation that we just did, and I had different guides and allies come through for each direction than the prayer that I'm currently using. So create multiple. Maybe you have one for having deeper inner work that you're doing, healing. Maybe you have one that is all about inspiring creativity. Really play with it and let yourself just paint with your paintbrush. So I want you to take some time and look at what came through during the meditation. And if you wrote it down in your journal as you were going, beautiful. I have some examples here of what could be potential symbols for each direction. And these are just what's traditional. I'm really going to encourage you to choose what actually feels true for you and also what you feel in your heart. Remember, the last direction was the 7th direction of the heart. So this is all about creating what makes sense for you. So even if in traditional Jaguar is in the West, you can put it in the South. Don't worry about following any rules. This is about having that creative freedom. And also, if you're looking at these and then you're trying to come up with something you're on your own, I invite you to really pause and work with what came through for you first. I just have these here as just some inspiration in case maybe you didn't get a guide for a certain direction, just so you could see if there's anything that really sparks inspiration. And maybe what you may do too is you may put a guide or a certain spirit, animal, or ally as a placeholder. This last time that I did my invocation, I was playing with different animals and I had a horse in there for the West. And I played around with the horse in the West and in the South. And then I realized, oh, I actually don't want that there. And I also did the same thing with the frog. I had the frog in the South. And then I realized as I was saying the invocation, I don't really feel as connected to the frog as I do with my wolf and with the bear. So it's all about what really feels true for you. So these are for the East, the West, the South, and the North. I've got some ideas, also some words in general, what that direction traditionally symbolizes. Again, if you were connecting to that direction and it felt a certain way to you, there was a certain texture, there was a certain essence you were picking up on, go with that. Trust that because every time you speak that invocation, when you say it, it will bring up that essence again. It'll remind you what that felt like. And it's all about what are you calling in? What do you want present with you to set the space so that you can ground into your sacred center? So feel free to jot down any of these. And then we've got also for the above, the below, and then the heart center as well. In my last invocation, what I did is I did include an animal spirit in all the directions except the above and the below, because the above and the below were symbolizing more Great Spirit and Mother Earth. And I didn't want to not take away from them, but I just felt like those were such really anchoring presences that it just felt right for the rest of the directions to have animals. And then in the heart center, I loved placing hummingbird. I did hummingbird and rainbow. And I'm happy to also share my invocation with you all. My invitation for you is take what resonates and leave the rest. If the way I have something worded or a certain guide I have in a direction really feels true for you, then go ahead and place it there. So that is the directions. And then my invitation for you at the end of this journey, I'm going to speak about my Mystical Heart Collective, which is my free online community. If this feels complete for you, if you came for the journey and you feel complete, then you can feel free to lop off this call. But I do want to extend an invitation to the Mystical Heart Collective. This is a free community. Like I said, I'm all about building community right now, connecting people together, gathering together. I think we're in a time in history where it's more needed than ever before. And what Mystical Heart Collective is a space where you can truly be your authentic self. I felt like I had to force myself to belong in certain groups growing up. I could never really fully express what I was truly feeling and thinking. And that still rings true in a lot of spaces. Mystical Heart Collective is a space where people want to live intuitively, authentically. And also, we recognize that we need to respect that each person has their own path and their own experiences, and we're not here to judge or try to push our beliefs onto others. It's a space to really be seen, to be heard, and to express yourself, to share your passions, share resources, share referrals. If you're a practitioner or entrepreneur, share what you do so that our community knows. And I'm also feeling inspired to do community spotlights. If you have something that you want to share with the community, part of having a community is to learn from each other. And the way that I view community is that no one is above or below or behind or ahead of anyone else. Even me, as the facilitator of the space, I see myself sitting in the circle with all of you. So, Mystical Heart Collective, if you feel in your heart that you want to join us, would absolutely love to have you there. I will have the link listed for you to register and sign up for that. And it's really a space where you're going to get out of it what you put in. If you're not showing up to our calls, if you're not making an effort to connect to others, then you won't really get much out of the community. But it's designed for true connection. And also, I just want to share, I used to have a website where I had my offerings and digital stuff, and people would sign up there. When I switched over to having the Mystical Heart Collective in this community platform group app, I just knew I don't need my website anymore. I want to focus on this community. So it's really near and dear to my heart. And if there's anyone that is in your life that who you feel like would be a good fit for Mystical Heart Collective, who values authenticity, intuition, and wants to grow alongside other heart-led humans, then feel free to invite them too. This is just as much your community as mine. I'm just supporting and facilitating the space and also making sure that we're being respectful and we have a safe space for everyone to express. Thank you so much for joining me for this journey of the seven directions. This was such an honor for me to share this process with you. I hope that you have received at least the beginning of a invocation that feels really resonant in your heart space. And please let me know how this process was for you. Please let me know, share what came through, what guides, what synchronicities. I would love to hear. Also, if you have feedback on how this could have been better or what you would have loved to see, I am really excited for Mystical Heart Collective because I also want to be creating resources specifically for our community there, whether it be meditations or master classes, bringing in guest speakers, co-create with me in the community. I would love for us to create some magic together. So thank you once again, and I will hopefully see you in the community. So until then, from my heart to yours.